To all the haters out there, if you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
Yeah, you're still a fan. Still a fan. I'm still a man. And it's still a sham. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. I'm spitting bars over here. Talking about shams and stands and fans. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the reboot episode 104. Wow. Is this episode 104?
I think it's 104, 104, 105. I think it actually is 105, but whatever, 104 it is for now.
Welcome back to the Binge Society. We are recording live on Zoom. I'm one of your hosts, 1/3 of your hosts. My name is Yemi Comedy, and this is my brother over here.
Yeah, what's up? My name is Winston Brewington, a.k.a. Wise Minded One. If you are on the Instagrams, you can find me on there.
Find him on Instagram. Yeah, get yourself a session. You probably need help. Because my man is a therapist in these streets. What's good, man? How you been?
I'm good, man. Out here trying to protect my peace with this like news traffic. It's just like constantly. I wake up, I turn on, I get New York Times updates, and this happened and that happened, and then I go to work and I hear about people's traumas and how bad things have been, and I'm just like, all right, I need to zen a little bit and a little.
Musa.
A little time to breathe, so that's that's what I look for. But I'm looking forward to getting into what's happening right now in the world, as well as what we're sort of watching and doing to take our minds away from things. But Yemi, how are you doing? That's what I want to know.
I'm good, man. Listen, I'm here. It's nice today. It's 79 degrees. Did you go outside today? We're recording March.
Oh,
what's today? March 29th. It's like 77
29th.
degrees. I was outside drinking my iced coffee, just people watching, zenning out before I hit the gym. Kind of lost some PRs, some strength because I took 2 weeks off. So I'm a little sour about that. I'm a little salty about that. I was like, weak. But I'm like benching for 95. It's like, are you weak? It's like, I was benching 225 for 5 reps 2 weeks ago. But it's like, whatever. All my gym heads are like, dude, you benched 225 for 5. Like whatever. But that's my little thing where I'm tracking my progress and I have a little app and stuff. But I'm good, man. You didn't talk about your new cat. You got a new cat, Orange.
Oh yeah, so we've been calling him Orange. We named him Biscotti originally, but we basically just been calling him Orange because he's an orange cat, and he seems to respond to orange more than anything else. And he likes to bite, and he likes to suck. Oh, he bites. This is the first time that I've had a cat where I can see like all the scratches and like bite marks on my body. So, but we needed some new energy over here, so I thought it was a nice addition to the family, so to speak. So, shout out to him. Shout out to Monty, my other cat, who's afraid of everything. Shout out to y'all.
Now, Winston claims he has a second cat. I have yet to see this cat ever. I've seen the cat in pictures, but I've yet to see. I've been to Winston's place I have not seen that cat. I'm like, are you lying about your second cat? Did you get rid of your cat? No.
He likes to hide underneath the bed. You know what I mean? He likes to. He's chill. He likes his quiet time. You know what I mean? He comes out for meals and he likes to zen out, little meditation and take a nap. Like that's the life I want to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I get my cats away. They in Boston. So.
Oh yes.
I gave them to my ex. So they live their life in a nice Boston home. Getting fat, getting chonky, and getting chonked. Chonk chillers. I seen pictures earlier. For those of you who can't see, because we're recording also video, I'm just doing like a fat cat. Like, they're probably gonna die from diabetes, but that's a good way to go, right? Diabetes, heart.
Oh man. So I have one question.
What's up?
I have one question. So because they are now living in Boston, does that mean they will become racist? Because last time I checked, they were both black cats.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, I guess against their own. I don't know. I guess they'll be like, go back to your.
How did they
go back to your country?
How did they vote in the last election?
I don't know. They don't vote. They're both just fat and lazy and eat and just get pets. So I don't see them changing the social, economic, geopolitical landscape anytime soon. If I'm being 100% honest. But yeah, man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back in these podcaster streets. You know, we had some technical difficulties. I'm just looking at my screen to make sure we're recording because I would not want this all to be for naught. So let's jump right in. A lot's happened since we last disbanded. I guess we should talk about it, right? The elephant in the well, not the elephant in the room.
The slender man that is not in the room anymore.
Slender man,
I mean, look.
Should we talk about it? Do the listeners even care, or do they even know? They're like, what? Nothing's missing.
I feel like the old school listeners will probably care. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, we're a band of 3. And right now, we're currently a band of 2. And that could change. And, you know, things will happen. But, you know, life happens. And our boy Danny is a father of 2 now and is working his ass off. And, you know, we think, well, I don't want to put anything out there that I don't know, but I have a feeling you will be hearing his voice at some point. I just don't know when. So stay tuned. So that's a little update. And then if you're tuning in to us for the first time, you have no idea who he is. So don't worry about it, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't, if this is your first time listening and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, I just found this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. This doesn't concern you. But for our old listeners who are like, hey, these guys are back. Yeah, Danny has he shout out to Desmond, his new baby, beautiful boy, good head of hair. Did you see the hair on that baby?
Luscious hair.
Locks. Got that good Indian hair. Got that good Indian hair. And I'm proud of him as a father, as a friend, and he had to take a step back because, you know, it's a lot going on. And as a parent, like not a new parent, but like bringing another spirit, another soul, another body, another mouth to feed in this, I don't know, this crazy time, I think you need to focus, you know? So we hope to have him back. He might drop in for some guest episodes, he might not, but either way, we wish him the best. So if Danny, you listening, come back. Come back to Zoom. Just pop open. You can even have the babies and just to be like, I gotta take this and just
should I just call him right now? Do you guys should call him?
Yeah, you want to call him?
I'm gonna call him right now.
Call him right now and tell him to
call him right now.
Call him right now. And tell him to come on Zoom.
I'm gonna do this. I'm doing it. Let's see.
He's probably not gonna pick up.
Probably not.
It's Saturday. He's probably, what is it, 5? It's probably like feeding time.
Probably. Yes.
Your call has been.
What'd I say? He's like, I ain't got time for this. He's like, I ain't got time for Winston. I'm a father too. What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think he's just gonna? We're like, yes, hello. How's it going? I have all the time in the world. I'll probably call you back or text you back like, hey, what's up, man? Right now I'm busy. But anyway.
Yeah, maybe I'll call him. Yeah.
We're gonna get
back to the agenda.
We're gonna get him on maybe when he's free. But saying that to say Binge Society wouldn't be Binge Society without him, so we hope he's back. But either way, we're gonna keep on trucking. But that being said, what are we watching? There's a lot going on. We're going to talk about politics, IRL, you know, all the good stuff. But what have you been watching lately, Winston? Like, what's? Because we haven't stopped binging since we disbanded.
We have not. If anything, TV has helped to keep me sane all this time. So things that I'm really enjoying, man. Whoa, what was that? I really, really like The Pit, man. The Pit might be my favorite show of the year, just as far as the acting, the writing. I mean, suspenseful, and there's 15 episodes, which is almost unheard of nowadays when most shows are like 8 episodes, maybe 10. And I know you've watched that, you know, a little bit as well. I also watched Lessons last week, which kind of blew my mind a little bit. It was so intense that, like, I just look. I think I recommend Adolescence to anyone who is currently watching or listening to this show. However, only do it if you have some sort of support next to you and some Kleenex, because let me tell you, this stuff gets intense. It is an intense show. A lot of people are saying it might be the best show of the year already. It's only 4 episodes, hour-long episodes. Yeah, only 4 episodes.
Oh, okay. So for people that don't know, I'm just gonna say The Pit is set in a financially strapped emergency room in Pittsburgh. Stars Noah Wiles as Dr. Michael, and this guy's in charge of an ER for the single 15-hour shift. And each episode is an hour, right? It's like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12. So they go hour by hour, like that's the episodes. And it's not ER, but it is very graphic in the sense of, you know what I mean? Not like sexually, but with medical. Like, they show births. I saw episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was going off. I was just chilling at home after work, and I was like, whoa.
Eating a sandwich. The next thing you know is like, you see the jaws of life. Like, we got to get this baby out. I'm like, yo, guys, can you put up like a warning before the show starts? Like, does it have a warning? Like, this show contains graphic... It probably does.
You know what?
It probably says TV.
I think it has something. Yeah, I don't know if they have one for like the graphic nature. I don't know actually. It's this show. I was not prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
But
I was not prepared for
it. If you are squeamish like me, I don't like blood and all that. Doctor, I can't. I don't like it. And it's real good makeup and everything. It's like really realistic. So just keep an eye out for that. But yeah, The Pit is something. I think I'm on episode 4 or 5. Really, really good show. I'm not really into doctor shows, but I found it. I said, oh, okay, let me check it out. It's really good. It's really good. Has really good beats. Yeah. Has really good character development, and the script is there. And I feel like they had a really good consultant as far as someone who worked in the ER, because the language alone and just the situations that come up. It's more about interpersonal relationships between patients and doctors. Yeah. And it talks a little bit about the socioeconomic standards of, hey, maybe you don't have health insurance, you're just in the ER, you know?
Yep.
So it's it really touches on a little bit of everything. And it does it in a really finesse type of way, where it doesn't feel like it's pushing an agenda. You know, some shows you watch is like, it's like a leftist agenda, and you're like, I just want to watch a good TV show. I don't want you to, you know, like... force.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. Don't force me to feel like whatever you want me to feel as you're writing. Just give me some entertainment, raw and uncut.
Right.
No, I'm not talking about porn.
Right. This is just
maybe I am. I'm like, give me some raw, uncut porn. All right. I don't watch porn anymore. I'm over 40. Like, what are you, a loser when you're watching porn? Anyway.
No. Hey, shots fired out here.
We gotta get the buttons back, because you're always good with the buttons.
Oh yeah, the buttons are coming.
Yeah, buttons coming. Listen, this is the Reborn. You should be thanking us that we're even doing this and we figured it out. And let's move on. The Pit's good. Adolescence. I haven't seen that yet. I know that's about.
Yes. Adolescence is great.
Well, you've seen some episodes without giving away. Can you just talk a little bit about what Adolescence is about and why people should watch?
Sure. Yeah. And all right. So my pitch would be that it's about a family that goes through a horrible tragedy, but it is beautifully shot. Every episode is one shot, so it's just constantly moving. The action does not stop. And so the anxiety levels can be high when watching the show. And I didn't realize it. Like it's from start to finish. Like there's always something either happening or you know what's about to happen. So it just doesn't like whatever it is that you use to calm yourself, if it's a type of tea or aromatherapy, bring that while you watch this show, because you will feel anxious as shit. But it's so well done, so well shown.
Yeah.
The acting is incredible. The writing is incredible. I was not expecting that when I watched it. I heard good things, but when I watched it, I kind of was speechless at the end. The way it ends, like I'm not going to give it away, but it's pretty incredible. I mean, it's artistry.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So yeah, I recommend it to anyone who has you got 4 hours to kill on quality well done artistic television, this is the show for you, for sure. Yeah.
All right, I gotta. Excuse me, my mic is. I gotta give that one a look. Also, anything else you've been watching? You want to talk about? I was going to talk about the next one on the docket.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just a real quick. Watch the season finale of Severance season 2, which was the finale was good.
Yeah, can you talk about, because I haven't seen any of Severance season 2. It's on my binge watch list. I might do that tonight. I might do a little gummy and just like, I was gonna go out and like just like walk around, but I think I want to just like, I also have to cook. But anyway, my ADD is freaking out. Talk about it, because I haven't seen it. I've heard mixed things. I've heard good, bad, boring, mid. So I want to hear it from the wise from the wise man. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag this season. There's some really outstanding episodes, and then there's also some episodes that are kind of just like, they just leave you scratching your head like, what did I just watch? I really like the finale. And then, there was one episode that sort of surrounded Gemma, who was Mark's wife, and which I think those are probably my 2 favorite episodes. There's a few other ones in there that are interesting, but yeah, it's a bit of a slog. So if you're gonna watch it, it's gonna take a lot of mental bandwidth because there's a lot going on.
You gotta slush through.
You gotta slush through. You have to, and and I enjoy it for what it's trying to do. I think it's one of the more interesting shows on TV, and it's being innovative. And so I'm curious to see where it goes. But other than that, really enjoyed Paradise.
What's that? Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, a lot of dancing. Oh,
I've seen memes of like dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah, Mr. Milchick. Did you ever? Oh, have you seen Mr. Milchick with his move, Bust a Move?
Yeah. There's a lot of dancing in there. I don't know. I just seen memes of Kendrick Lamar's halftime show and them syncing it to a scene.
Yeah, that sounds about
like us. I was like, all right, I guess
that's about Instagram. Oh yeah. No, it's amazing. Those shots are amazing. Like anything with Mr. Milchick in it has been like awesome this season. Let's see what else. Oh, Paradise is great. I think Paradise is also episode. Oh yeah, episode 7. Episode 7, one of the best episodes of TV I've seen this year for sure.
Oh,
easily.
Paradise. Paradise is a great show. It's a Secret Service agent investigates the murder of a former president in a seemingly peaceful community. It's a bit, I guess, a dystopian because I don't want to give the spoiler, but it's in a dystopian era of American history and politics, and it follows. The stars are Sterling K. Brown. That's the handsome black man who was the star of This Is Us, the Black Father.
Right.
He's also been in a myriad of other things that I can't recall, but dude, besides the where it's set, just the story alone, the way they set it up between the Secret Service agent and the president, who's played by what's this guy?
Oh, that's hold on.
He's
I
got a lot of stuff too.
James Marsden.
James Marsden, he plays Cal Bradford, and Sterling X. Brown plays Xavier Collins. It's a great show, and just like the bromance that they have between Xavier and Cal is just like, I was like, yeah, 2 buff good-looking dudes, but it's not gay though. It's not gay. It's his job to be his friend. It's not gay.
It's his job.
And if it was gay, I'm not saying that's bad either. Like maybe it was gay. I don't know. I haven't seen all the episodes. Maybe that's the big, reveal.
The big twist at the end.
Yeah, I highly doubt that, but it's a great story. I don't want to give it away to listeners who maybe haven't seen it, but give Paradise on Hulu a check. I wouldn't even say an honorable mention because it was like things to watch on my Hulu. Like, you should watch this. I was like, all right, and then I was like, oh, really hooks you in quick, and then they get to it. I like that. They get to it.
No, that's great, and they already got renewed for a season 2.
Yeah,
so
they would be dumb if they. I mean, I know there's a cliff. It's just the way it is. It's like I know there's a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
just like it's just a thriller. So it's like there has to be a cliffhanger. This is not the end. So I definitely want to. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Have you dived into White Lotus? Have you had the opportunity to do that? season 3.
Season 3. I'm not a fan of season 3. As far as just the characters, I'm not a fan. It's not bad. Don't get me. I'm always the guy's like, it's not bad, but I'm like, I'll watch it. I'll watch it, eat some spaghetti, and be on my phone. You know,
That's a good spaghetti show for some reason.
It's a spaghetti show. Like, you know, we have this segment called "Eat Your Spaghetti While You Watch This." You're kind of watching it, but you're maxing. You got your phone on. You're doing.
I like that.
You're day trading and night trading on your phone, on your computer, and it's like in the back. That's how I feel about season 3 of White Lotus. It's because, you know, there's always a murder or some type of weird sexual kind of promiscuity, you know, indiscretions, so to speak. So they have all the good stuff. It's also really beautiful. It's set in Thailand, not Vietnam. Thailand.
Yeah, it's in Thailand. Beautiful Thailand.
I think that is a great marketing campaign for Thailand, because I'm like, I want to go to Thailand. These ladies. Oh yeah, these Thai women are gorgeous. The culture.
I've been wanting to go to Thailand for so long. Man.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to just go for like a month to do Thai boxing and just get in the best shape of my life, and then come back and fight somebody in the street. Somebody in the subway. Like, hey man, come here. I got something to show you. Oh, Muay Thai. Ooh, what are you doing, dude? Pay attention. You think I'm going to Thailand for a month to not fight? No. But great destination campaign for Thailand is Seventh season. Severance. I keep saying Severance. White Lotus. I haven't seen all of it, but it's regular to me. I think it's. I think there's other things that I'm more excited to watch than White Lotus, if that makes sense. You know.
Got it. Yeah, I think. I mean, there's a lot coming out this year. I don't know. Is now a good time to talk about some of the things we're excited for, like later in the year?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump right in.
All right. So
20 minutes in. Yeah, let's keep the binge alive, and then we'll get to the real stuff that people are like, oh, you're not going to talk about politics? I'm a political person. I want to know what's going on. It's like, you know what's going on. You didn't come here to get updated about what you already know is happening, all right? We're going to talk about it, but we want to talk about what things you should be distracted by that's not it right now.
Exactly, because we all need...
In politics.
Yes. One of the things I like to tell all the people I work with is, like, it's good to have positive distraction. So positive distraction is good. And TV is positive distraction for us. Yeah. So one thing I'm really excited for is of course, The Last of Us. Season 2 coming out next month or April. So I'm really excited for that. And Yemi, I know you had some thoughts. Have you played the game before? I haven't played the game.
The Last of Us game I have played on PlayStation. I played it a while back. Sorry, I'm typing it in the Last of Us game.
No, look it up. Is it PlayStation 3 or 4? I don't know. I've never got the chance.
It was on PS. Oh, sorry. So yeah, The Last of Us. 2014. Yeah, 2014 is the last time I played that game. I believe I played it on PlayStation 3 or 4. I don't remember. I believe I played the remake on PlayStation 4. Probably one of the best games I've ever played. I didn't finish it just because of life stuff, but great game. It's an action adventure made by one of the best, I think, Sony Company Entertainment developers, Naughty Dog, that also made Crash Bandicoot. They make really good games and really tell really great stories. And as you could tell, it had, look at its pedigree. It was so good, and it had such a fan base that they're like, we should make this into a script, because it's also a great story. Post-apocalyptic, these not zombies, but these kind of like mushroom zombies. It's like a whole thing, Yeah. But taking the whole zombie trope and just adding gear 5, 6, 7, like it just making it super high stakes, and they really capture the tense intensity in season 5. I think I might watch Last of Us again because it's so good, man.
Actually,
especially the protagonist's story, like with his daughter. Sorry if you haven't watched it, but the first episode is probably one of the most like heart-wrenching.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna cry, episodes that just kind of set off the the protagonist, and as he should, because that was, and it comes back in the story that same moment of why he is the way he is. It's just great. It's a great show. So I'm really excited. Is it April 16th? Last of Us.
I believe so. Let me double check that. Yeah, I think it is. I'm very excited for that. And I'm really excited to see, because I don't really know much about the video game and the story.
April 13th is when it's coming out.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's perfect. So basically it starts, let me see. Yeah, basically right after the season finale of White Lotus. Then I think the following week, then The Last of Us takes the place as sort of like the big Sunday night show. So that makes sense. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it gives you something to watch. Watch this. Everyone's going to be watching White Lotus on Sundays. Last week with John Oliver, and then we got to replace the Sunday night because, HBO always does Sunday nights, or Max, excuse me, always does Sunday nights as their go-to kind of like everybody's watching. It's a good night to watch. Right. It's a good night to watch.
It is. Excuse me. No, it is a good night to watch. And let me see, what else am I looking forward to? For some reason right now, to my mind, I have a lot of movies. Like there's a lot. We'll be getting into some of that stuff, but Marvel has a lot of big stuff coming out.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about the new cast, IRL news?
Yeah. Should we get into it right now?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to pump the brakes on things we're watching, because we could wax poetic about things we're watching, but those are the top 5: Adolescence, The Pit, Paradise, Severance, and White Lotus. So if you haven't watched that, if you're a new listener, go watch that stuff. And if you're an old listener, you're probably watching that, or you're like, oh, I didn't know about this. This is why I listen to you guys. I love you. Here's $400,000. Get Danny back. Give us money. Give us money. We need money.
Yes, exactly. What we'll do is if you give us money, we'll text you Danny's number, and you can feel free to send him a text message or call him 24 hours, 7 days, whatever you want.
That'd be a great April Fool's prank. Dude, that would be a great April Fool's prank. If we just text our listeners, like his number's just like bully Danny to coming back to the Binge Society reboot. And then he's going to be like, guys, please stop.
Nothing like a little peer pressure to get things done. All right, so it's a little throwback, but also a little bit new. Let's get into for the first time in a while the IRL in real life news update.
You are now listening to the IRL news update with your host Winston and Yemi.
Just a few days ago, they announced the actual full cast for Avengers Doomsday. So rewinding back in time, as you probably know, if you're a comic book nerd like us, or you're just up on what's happening in Marvel pop culture stuff, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Dr. Doom. So we don't really know if they're pulling from the comic books for this, or if this is going to be a brand new story. We really don't know.
I heard in the comic books it's like canon that Tony Stark in a different universe is Dr. Doom. So I'm sure all my nerd heads right in the comments, like, I'm sure that's somewhere in the comic book lore. I'm for it. Yeah. I'm like, hey, if you need his face, because Iron Man's dead, right, in this universe, if you need his face as Dr. Doom, I can go play a great Dr. Doom. I don't care. Yeah. Just give me a good story. Give me a good big bad. That's my whole thing with these stories. Like, give me someone to root for or against as the protagonist and the antagonist. And I feel with the big purple monster, freaking Thanos. Oh, right. Because we always knew he was coming. We always knew that was going to be the end. Whatever. No pun intended. The end game. So I was hyped the whole way through the phase. Like, oh, we're going to see him at some point.
Yeah, me too.
So if Dr. Doom is it, then let's get it.
Yeah. No, it looks like they're taking some big swings here. There's a long list. I'm not going to say every single name on here, but I'll say some of the ones that stand out to me. Chris Hemsworth, of course, as Thor. Makes sense. Anthony Mackie as Captain America. Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, of course. We had the Fantastic Four coming out this summer. Sebastian Stan as Bucky. Letitia Wright as Black Panther, Paul Rudd's coming back as Ant-Man, And I'm going to skip over a few, and I'm going to talk about a few that look kind of interesting to me because I think it's kind of interesting. Kelsey Grammer as the Beast. Remember Kelsey Grammer playing Beast back in the day with those old X-Men movies?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, like it's like, what? They're bringing back Kelsey Grammer? I was not expecting that.
I'm excited that they have some X-Men. I mean, maybe this is X-Men reboot. We don't know. Like maybe a little wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, Kelsey Grammer, I think Beast he fits his. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be CG. He ain't gonna like start doing gear and get all like ripped and using his feet as hands. But you know, I think Beast he's a gentleman, a gentle beast. You know,
he is. He does have a great voice for Beast for sure. So I'm very curious to see how that is, and of course. Patrick Stewart is reprising his role as Charles Xavier. Ian McKellen will be Magneto. It's just interesting to bring those versions of those characters back. And of course, James Marsden from Paradise, who was the president, is coming back as Cyclops for this as well. So, of course, Gambit. We saw Gambit in, spoiler alert, in Deadpool Wolverine. So he'll be back to that. And then Pedro Pascal will be Mr. Fantastic. So obviously, Marvel's putting a lot into the Fantastic Four basket.
And it seems like X-Men is probably on its way too, because we got Cyclops, Mystique, Nightcrawler. We got the X-Men in it, So I'm glad for that. I'll just say Channing Tatum is Gambit. He needs to work on his Cajun accent. I don't know what that was he was doing. It was
a little weird.
It was very weird. I was like, but having Gambit on screen, yeah, dude. Anyway. No, he's not. Is he French? I think he's like Creole or like he's Cajun.
Creole, but like I feel like there's a decent amount of French in Creole that's true. Moshed into there.
Bon. But yeah, I'm very cast of Avengers Doomsday. So they are doing like, is this a new phase or just a new? Is this a new phase or is this just a new? Because it's like Fantastic Four. They are coming out with new Avengers.
I think it was. I think it's a new phase. Okay. Yeah, a new phase, and so it's like Fantastic Four this summer, Thunderbolts this summer, and then building up towards this movie, which will come out in the summer of next year, 2026. So. I honestly, I'm trusting them that they have, they put a lot of thought into this and that they really want people to be invigorated by their thoughts and ideas because, of course, after this Avengers movie, there'll be a Secret Wars movie. And I'm sure that'll probably bring back some of our, some of the older characters that aren't going to be in this movie. So it'll be very interesting. I'm very curious to see what happens. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to turn out.
I don't know. From the looks of it looks like they're kind of going back to basics. Like we need to get some canon characters, some good actors to play them, and to build another phase where people can be invested in the story. I think you can message as much as you want as far as empowerment and leftist politics, but if you're losing money. And people are saying, "Hey, can you just like tell the good stories again?" The consumer always wins, I think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. So
I think top down, like if Disney Marvel's losing money and everyone online is just like, "This sucks," sooner or later, they're like, "Hey, we gotta change things up." We gotta, we gotta. This recipe is not working. People are giving us bad Yelp reviews, so I'm excited.
No, that would be your bad. Me too. I hope it as well. We gotta go to the movies this summer. We gotta get our
Fantastic Four. I'm definitely.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We gotta renew our AMC Club members pass.
What's that?
We gotta renew our AMC Club members pass.
Just take the Andes.
That's right. He did have it. He did have it.
Using that shit. Just take his. Just take it. Like, yo, man. You're not gonna go to the movies. Or maybe you will. I don't know. Maybe. Come up off that AMC pass.
That's right. And the Disney Plus.
Yeah. I've already kind of made peace that I'm never gonna get that Disney Plus.
Ah,
I
man.
might have
You
to
know what?
bite the bullet.
You should text him right now and be like, "Look, man, I love you. Run your Disney Plus password."
He's like, I did. It's like, no, you didn't. Anyway, moving on. So,
All right, let's move on to yeah,
that's kind of our IRL and binge watch list. We got
yeah,
about. Let me just see something real quick. We got about. Like 10 minutes. Should we just talk about some? I guess it's
yeah.
not
Do you want
nerd
to
news, but
just
just like
yeah?
what's happening.
We'll just talk about life shit. We can talk about. All right, so yeah, let's do that. So one thing that I kind of wanted to bring up because I just feel like things are in the air right now is people are protesting as we speak right now. They're protesting Tesla and they're going to Tesla dealerships. And just to give you a little background, NBC is discussing this. NBC News. More than 200 protesters are scheduled to take place. I'm sorry, more than 200 protests are scheduled to take place today at different Tesla locations. Of course, if you've been paying attention to the news, people are pissed off at Elon Musk. People have been getting fired. Doge is running the show, and we know who the orange Cheeto man president is doing and saying. And so chaos has erupted around the country. And Yemi, I just want to get your thoughts on what the F is going on. What the F is going on? Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts. Yeah.
There's a hostile takeover of the government. We're seeing in real time. People think.
Yep.
I think right now. We kind of talked about this about the recap. I think right now we're seeing in our lifetime a hostile takeover. They're already saying they elect Trump for 3 terms. I saw on Bill Maher that certain Republicans are voicing that and piping up about 3 terms, and I think Trump is trying to take over. I think we're seeing a real hostile totalitarian takeover in real time. And what are we in? March? We're about to go into April. Right. It feels like it's been 2 years already.
It's only been a couple months.
It's only been a couple months. And look at the collateral damage of everything that's happened already. The protester that got that's in not Kentucky.
In Massachusetts.
The one in Columbia.
The one that there's a Tufts woman who was taken.
The Tufts woman, because she was she was saying something anti-Semitic. And
I guess
and these people like you can't do that, but it's getting done. So it's like, oh, how do we? What you could? Huh? Like I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah.
So I think it's very disheartening to see the country at its core kind of break down its essential kind of human rights for. I don't know what's the means to the end, but from what I gather is that they canceled segregation.
That's right. The segregation laws. Quietly. Yeah, very quietly. Like segregation laws have gone away. I believe I'm not sure it's all states, but people are talking about different water fountains again and all that type of stuff, which is a very scary thought, but doesn't seem too far-fetched, depending on how you feel about the point that we're at right now in history. But
I think it's gonna, if I'm being honest, I think this is gonna be, I think people are realizing that, I think a lot of Caucasians and white people are probably, I think it's going to be a white man's war. I think that's what it's going to be. I think if you're a minority in this country and you're just trying to make a living, you're just trying to make sure your family's okay. And you should protest and you should write your senator and you should go to community meetings and you should go to your town halls. But outside of that, I think everyone's feeling the pinch of this R word that we're already in. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it spade a spade. It's already here. It's probably going to hit really hard this fall. And with the rise of cost with food, transportation, living, and the juxtaposition of not the rise in salaries and wages and this gig economy, people are just, there's a story that's going on that's circling the internet where people are klarnering, like, people are putting payment plans for fast food, like Uber Eats.
Yeah.
There's a subset of society that can't even afford to buy a burrito from Uber Eats or DoorDash. Klarna's like, hey, this is a market where we can have predatory practices for people that are poor that want to buy food online and have it delivered. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy if you think about just that level of person who's like, yo, I can't afford to buy this meal for my family. I have to like put it in payment plans that has like 10 or crazy amount of interest. So with Tesla, I think the Tesla stock is probably gonna implode. I think Elon Musk, as the richest man, will be all right. But did you just see he sold X to Xay, XAY?
You can see,
He just sold it. So I think he's trying to now I think he's just going to be looking for things for spare parts to try to make ends meet on his end. Like, hey, I gotta get rid of this. This is a crapshoot. This is not making me money. I can sell this couple $1 billion. So what I think we're saying is just Trump wasn't playing. And here's the thing: I don't know why people thought like this last election, or maybe I'm speaking. I'll speak from the eye. I was like, I'm gonna vote and do my thing, but I had a really hard time believing that she was gonna win. Like I was like, the Democrats kind of dropped the ball on that. They had old timey Joe, God bless him. He did what he could with what he had as far as his mental facilities were concerned, but dude was not there at the end. Like I don't care what anyone. He was not. He was old. He had dementia. He had, he wasn't. He was just like, no, pardon this church, whatever. And they just kind of handed it off to Kamala, like, I guess you next. And she was just like, yeah, nothing's wrong, everything's okay, vote for me. And I was like, wait, but what are you gonna do? I felt like she wasn't talking about what she was gonna do. Are you gonna continue the Biden administration's policies, foreign and domestic, or what are you going to do about this inflation? What are you going to do about housing? Like, what are you going to do? And I didn't hear anything from that. Meanwhile, Cheeto Man was like, I'm doing this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, like, he had his plans, albeit you might not have agreed, but the right was like, yeah, that's what we want, did away with DEI, did away with all the transgender programming, cutting federal, like making federal government smaller, which Republicans historically do. But you had nobody knew in the back. You had Elon like, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I'm gonna get all your Social Security numbers. Yeah. I'm trying to do away with Social Security. Yeah. People didn't know that. So I think this is a direct backlash of like, whoa. You can't take away fundamental like American rights like Social Security that pays for your grandma, your grandpa, that pays for people with special needs, that pays for like, it's a whole thing. It's not just like Social Security. It's like everybody, white and black. So I think a lot of people on the right have to kind of grow a spine or just have some type of empathy or some type of like, hey, like maybe this is not as good as we thought it was. And maybe where we're going is not where we want to go as a society, but I think it's going to take a lot, dude, because people like in his cabinet they're just stands, they're just yes men, like you saw the whole thing with Signalgate, right? Like they couldn't even like, what are we, you talking about bombing military tactics on your phone at home when you eat spaghetti watching?
You're talking about clown
White
show.
Lotus?
I mean, like, come on, man. Like,
and then the dude was like, and then the Atlantic editor was like, hey, am I supposed to be in this? And they didn't even respond to him. He's like, okay. And he was like, is this real or is this fake? And then he called Vance and he's like, hey, I just wanted to check this is real. He's like, yeah. And now they're like, oh, they wouldn't even say like, oh, it was a mistake. So I think even with everything that's just like, there's so much with the news cycle. I think this is going to be a white man's war. I think it's going to be poor whites realizing they voted wrong.
Right. Which I think they definitely are right now. Like, I think a lot of them are like, wait.
Videos of people like, whoa, they deported my why like, you know, like a lot of Latino people are probably realizing they didn't think it was going to be about them, because they
Right.
probably thought, oh, he's talking about black people, not Spanish people, and I think a lot of
Right.
Latin Americans, like Latino born
Hmm.
Americans, or
Hmm.
Latin Americans that might have gone here on a visa, right? That expired.
Yep.
Is like, oh, that's not going to affect me. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal, right?
Right.
And they're like, boom, 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 ice. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
just the protests are one thing. Yeah, he's the richest man in the world. Tesla might lose stock. It's still going to be Tesla. There's still people. I still see Teslas on the street. People going to buy Teslas and support.
Of
Because
course.
some people just like that dude or just like the car. But
Mhm.
it's going to take a lot more than burning down Teslas and like beating up dealerships, I think. I think that's a start in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because I honestly feel like him selling X was kind of a telltale, like, oh, he is losing money, and it just we have to keep
Yeah.
pressing that button.
Yep. Absolutely.
How do you
Because
feel about it?
in the end, like you said, it's all about money. All this stuff is about money, and the things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. I think at this point, and you know, I don't want to cast aspersions on people who I don't know or anything like that, if he voted for Trump or not or whatever. I think at this point it's too late, and we need to do a better job of learning from history. Right? Like that's the whole point of having history class, is supposed to learn from our mistakes so we can better understand what happened so that we could move forward and progress. And we have decided to do the opposite, which is let's regress to the point that we're going to get rid of protections for people who are the most vulnerable and things like that. And that's not the way that we can sustain a country like America. America is supposed to be built on diversity, inclusion, and then of course the whole DEI thing. There's so many layers to all this, and it's so dangerous. And so I really just want people to stay safe out there as best they can, because stuff is wild. Stuff is wild, and you got to do stuff to protect your mental health, protect your physical well-being as well, because it's not. Uh, we've lived in so many, we've been through so many different situations, right? Chaotic times. I think we were talking about it the other day, right? We've had, me and you as millennials, who are in our, sort of early 40s. We've been through 9/11, multiple recessions. Of course, the one in '08 was really bad. We had the pandemic. Now we have Trump 2.0, who's about to put us in another recession. Who knows how that's going to go?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are not going to survive this. A lot of people are not going to survive this. A lot of people thought it was a game. Well, guess what? It's not a game. These are people's lives, people's livelihoods. People have a lot invested into America, into this country being equitable. And we have, to this point, have not chosen to be equitable and to give everyone a fair chance and a fair shake. And if we continue to go down this path, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
Dude, it's already not good. I don't know how your pockets are looking, but
good.
I'm like,
yeah, it's not good, man. It's not good.
Yeah. But if you're listening to this, I'm not a political guy. Obviously, the words I'm using are not political. But I just feel like, dude,
Yeah.
I keep my head down. I do.
Yeah.
I try to do right by people and by my family and friends, and try to be kind to people. It's hard. It's becoming hard, man. Like I can tell this armor of just, GTFO, like leave me alone. But that's not what we need. We actually need to talk to people more about what's happening and seeing how we can coalesce as a community and getting to know your communities and seeing what you can do in your community, because that's where you live, right? See what you can do on a state level, on your community level, to see how you can pitch in. But like I said, it's so, the social engineering is so kind of diabolical. It's like, well, how can you kind of focus on your community if you can't even, if you're living check to check, if they're cutting hours because of all these tariffs,
Right.
or
It's true.
or if the place you're working, the rent's so high they have to cut your hours to make ends meet.
Right.
You know,
Right.
or I don't know anyone that just has one job. I mean, I know you got one job. I would consider you an outlier, but regular just like 9-to-5ers like me that doesn't really have a career, that just like kind of working this job, that job. I have like 2-3 jobs, and I'm still like, how am I not making any money? This is the fact that I have to have 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet is the problem. You get me? Like that is
It's
a problem.
total nonsense. It's total nonsense.
Like you shouldn't. Your parents didn't have to do that. If they had an extra job, it was probably to make some extra money for a birthday or something like that. Or, but you know, my parents. I don't know about your parents, but my parents, you know, they both had one job each, and my parents had 4 kids.
Right. That's a lot. That's a lot, man.
And they were able to put us all through private school. This is back in the 80s and the 90s. It was different. Money was different, you know?
Yeah.
And they weren't super highly educated. Not saying they weren't educated, but they, you know, they were immigrants from Nigeria, and they worked hard at what they did. My dad was a cabbie. My mom worked at a bank, and then she started her own business. And they were able to put food on the table and give us an education. Now, if you want to do that, you kind of have to be making well over hundreds of thousands and have a 2-family income household.
Yeah,
like that's kind of like and that's not. I'm not saying people don't do that don't have those parameters, but if you want to have a semblance of putting 2 children in private school, healthcare, you have to be 2-person household well over $100K a year.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Living in this city, maybe somewhere else, Midwest, you know, in the South, maybe maybe it'll be 80,000, but any city, big city area, well over $100K, and the middle class everybody's being squeezed, bro, and I don't know if it's gonna let up in our lifetime without some type of cosmic shift in how we view the right and the left, because the left went too left, and now the right's going all the way right. And I just feel like this is going to be a circle of the right's going to, you know, how the left went all kind of gender politics, like they went all like gender, what is it called? Gender politics. They went like, that was their thing. They were like gender and all this stuff and trans. And everybody wasn't on board with that, but they kind of really went all the way left with that. And people were like, all right, we kind of have to, yes, this is important, but not as important as like saying, having some safeguards for, I don't know, DEI, for healthcare, for Social Security, for having equitable places for people to live in cities, for wages, for education, you know, because they're going to cut away with the Department of Education. And I don't think that's a bad idea. Yeah. That's an episode for another, that's a topic for another episode. Because I know that's a thing. I don't think that's a bad idea with the cutting the Department of Education. As having dipped my toe into teaching, I don't know what the Department of Education is doing outside of like standardized testing. That's not at all helping our black and brown babies. But that being said, this year is going to be a big year for Binge Society. Mark my words. We're, as you can see in the back, there's nothing but this is going to be the studio, God willing. And we're going to have way, way more things to be talked about. We're going to have guests. It's going to be good. I don't want to talk about what we're going to do until we do it. So just stay tuned for right now. Check us out on YouTube, same place, and Instagram and all that stuff. I think we still have all that stuff. But right now, we're Binge Society Pod on Instagram. If you want to write us in, Binge Society Podcast at gmail.com.
That's right.
And you can reach me on Instagram at Yemi Comedy.
That's right. And if you want to reach out to me, you can find me at Wise Minded One. That's ONE on Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say to me, and then if you have any hate mail for Danny, You can send that to bingesocietypodcast@gmail.com and make sure that I forward it to his personal email address.
Yeah, if you have any,
we'll talk about it.
We should start a GoFundMe for how much money do you think we would have to send Danny for him to come back if we started a GoFundMe?
Maybe $1,800.
$1,800. Yeah, like I'll do an episode for $1,800. Sweet in the pot. But yeah. Well, yo, thanks for listening. We've been Binge Society.
Yes.
Stay tuned every week where you get all your monthly, weekly, daily podcast, and check us out on YouTube, man. We're out of here.
Peace out.
Let me play that outro music real quick, and let's do the thing. Thanks for listening. It's always a pleasure, Winston. See you next week, man.
This is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm